I'm Rebecca.
I'm Caitlin.
I'm Nessa.
This is the Family Showdown! Howdy folks, and welcome to my top 100 games of all time 2020 version according to moi. Today we are going to go through 80 to 71. You ready for this?
No. No.
I've already terrorized Hunter. Hopefully you've seen the previous videos. We'll see if he's going to be shocked today. I don't know. There's not as much craziness, I think. We'll see.
I think there's nowhere to go but down.
Oh, man. I don't know. We'll see. I do have 2 new games in this top 10. So. Okay. Just 2, though. Just 2.
All right.
You ready? You ready?
I'm always ready.
Well, we're going to start off with one of my new games. And that is Empires of the North. This is the latest and greatest, neatest, and I don't know, my new preference of Imperial Settlers. I want to play this now instead. It's got your pre-made clans. There was six different ones. They're all ready to go, but they're all unique. They're all asymmetrical, and you go in and you kind of build up your resources, and you're building up your engine. You want to expand your little community, build up your empire, and of course, win those victory points, right? It is so much fun. Oh, hey, you know what? This has a solo mode version. I did not know that. That's interesting. But it can go up to 90 minutes. For us, it's about an hour, I would say. You don't remember?
No clue.
Well, we wonder where this is ranked on Hunter's list. Okay, so
133.
That's not that bad.
No.
Whatever. But no, it's a lot of fun. It's got cute art, and if you've ever played Imperial Settlers, you already pretty much know how to play this one. It's very similar. But
yeah, there's some
better.
There's some differences.
Well, there's some tweaks. Yeah,
there's a lot of tweaks.
There are.
The cards are similar, yes.
Well, yeah, the cards are similar, but I mean, how it plays. I mean, you already have the gist of what's going to happen.
Kind of. It's got a weird action selection system where you're putting discs down, and it has that going off to do journeys with boats. It's got different.
You know, honestly, I think this would rank higher on your list because of the boats.
I don't get to ride on the boat. I don't drive a boat around.
True.
I just put a boat on a board.
That's true.
It doesn't go anywhere.
That's true.
I guess thematically it goes places.
Yeah, see?
But literally it doesn't go anywhere except on a mat.
True.
And it's a flat little boat. It's not a real boat. It's
if
a
I
tile.
upgrade that, then would you like it more?
I might.
But yeah, it's like I said, it's still similar.
It is similar, yes.
It's still similar, but I don't know. Just the extra oomph that they added to it is so much better. I don't know. It just took it over the top for me. This is like my go-to now. I probably will never play Imperial Settlers again because I like this one
Especially
so
since
much
we're getting
more.
rid of Imperial Settlers.
Oh well, hey, there you go. I guess I'm not. So
that was your choice because we had a
because this one is so much better. Really and truly, I do.
Yeah,
I'm like, this one's.
I enjoyed this
so
one quite
good.
a bit. The other one was just kind of there here. Just like
you just do your little thing and then you're done. Do your little thing and
space.
you're done. Yeah, and this one just I don't know. It felt like there was more purpose to it. So very very fun. And if you liked Imperial Settlers, I think you're going to love
this one's a
one.
little more. I think it's slightly more complicated. A little more
just
going
slightly
on.
though. I don't think it's
No, it's not super heavy compared to it. But
no, it's a medium weight game.
It's got more going on, more decisions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which again I like. So definitely check out Empires of the North. Empires of the North is so cool. And that was my new one for the list. Now, my next one, my number 79, dropped a little bit. It was my 51.
Okay.
I don't think you're going to have a hissy fit about this anymore. You've kind of chilled on this one somewhat. But I still love me some Blood Rage.
Yeah, I've majorly cooled on this one.
What's the ranking for it? Do I like it more than you now?
You might. I ranked it 100.
Put this on the calendar, folks. Did you see that? I like Blood Rage more than him. Okay. Yes, it's got off-the-charts miniatures. Totally unnecessary, but pretty awesome. But you've got this card drafting and you're using the cards. They have a lot of different things on them, but you're using them either to battle or give you some kind of perk and stuff, and you're going in and you're fighting because it's the end times, and you want your guys to go to glory. Or maybe not. Maybe you want to keep them alive. It depends on how you're playing the game, which is also really, really cool. The combat system for this is actually pretty cool. I really like the way that it uses the cards and stuff. It's real simple. It's not... You have to stop the world to do it. You count up how many points you have.
Kind of does little dudes. Ragnarok.
Ragnarok.
You kind of are stopping the world. That was funny.
Boo. No.
No.
Okay, so you stop the world. Okay.
So here's the thing.
You use the cards. You count up your people, and you use a card. You can bump it up, and you might have some special tactics. And that's about it. I mean, it's just boom, boom, boom. You do this really quickly. Whoever ends up with the most, you go. And you move on. And it doesn't... It's a large part of the game, but it doesn't take up the game, if that makes any sense. And there's a lot to do with the tactics. And you're going around Ragnarok to different areas and regions. And there's a region every round that blows up.
Right.
So the world is getting smaller. Forcing you to start fighting more and more. So you use rage as your currency in this game, and you use it to select your actions and stuff. It burns that energy off. And you want to build up your engine of rage so you have more rage so that you can do more things, which in real life is probably incredibly unhealthy, but in this game it works really well.
Well, it's unhealthy unless it's against the machine.
Rage. Okay, anyway. So, why?
So
are you hating on...
Here's the deal. Let me.
I gotta know.
Let's tell a little story.
I gotta know.
Let's tell a little story. So, Blood Rage is a really, really amazing game.
Yes.
And if you watched my top 100, I punished games that I really couldn't play very often in the optimum way. So, I can probably count on one hand. I might have 5 fingers. One hand, how many times I've played this game more than 2 players.
Yeah.
And 2 players just makes me angry because I enjoy the game.
Rage!
It plays somewhat okay, but you don't use like
half the stuff.
Maybe an eighth of the miniatures. It's not even half. It's like an eighth of the miniatures.
That's true.
So you
it
take,
really is.
There's only like 1 or 2 really cool miniatures you get to use when you play 2-player, and all these other miniatures you don't get to use. And I got to use those like a handful of times. So this gets punished just because it pretends to be 2-player. I don't know.
No, you're right. It's not optimal at 2-player. It really isn't. And it is unfortunate because it's not like you could say, oh, this time I'm going to play with these guys. No, it tells you what to play with at 2-player.
And some people, when they make their top 100, they basically say, okay, under optimal conditions, how much do I like this game? I tend to play under my normal conditions.
Yeah.
And I really don't want to pull this off the shelf 2-player anymore for the most part. So that's why I got punished. That's it for the most part. I'll play it occasionally.
I know.
But
it's not
at
the same.
3 or 4 players, this thing sings.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's an awesome game.
No, it's true.
But like I said,
he's not wrong.
I've only played it a handful of times.
Yeah. 2-player.
1, 2, 4 times maybe more than 2 players, which is really sad.
You mean just 2 players?
More than 2 players.
Oh, you haven't played it that often more than? Oh,
that's what I just said.
Oh.
Did she just get here?
You know what I mean. All right, so that's unfortunate though. I thought you'd played it more multiplayer.
No,
than that.
I played it with
you played
at a con with Sam and Z and some other people. We played it a couple of times with our friends, and that's about it.
Oh man, okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah. How many times have you played it more than 2 players? You haven't played it more like once or twice more than 2 players.
Yeah, it's true. It's mostly 2-player.
Yeah.
So again, it's a good game.
It's amazing, but
it plays
differently
at different player counts.
Anyway.
We need a 2-player rage.
No, we need like someone that we can just pull out of a closet. We want to play with 3 or more players, and then put them back in the closet.
We need to groom Nessa better.
I guess something.
All right. So my number is 78. This one dropped, and I don't know. I think it's just because we've played it a lot, and I like other ones that do similar-esque things a little bit better. It was 38 before, and dropped to 78, and that is my boy,
Apparently it's not your boy anymore.
Il Magnifico. He's still number 78.
You kicked the boy out of the house.
I did. Kicked him to the curb.
Sent him off to the carpet factory.
And I still really like this game. So maybe what it might be too is maybe this is just telling me it's begging for more plays. It's like, I need to be refreshed. So this lovely game that looks like some kind of carpeting that you'd find in your grandmother's house is actually a pretty solid, heavy game. You're working with Lorenzo here, and you're building up, it's just heavy Euro goodness, and you're going through, and my brain just went, but what you're working on, you're going to keep track of how much piety you have, because they're checking on that. The church is watching you. And then you're going through and you're doing different political things and stuff to move up the chain. Seriously, my brain just went, meh. With the dice, though, you get to choose what you're going to do. And you pay using this dice. What happens is, we're sharing this lovely dice, though. And the dice can be nice or not.
Yeah,
there's some ways to mitigate it, but you have to pay, right? You have to pay
little guys.
Little guys to help you pay for more expensive things and to mitigate that a little bit. The other thing that's difficult is there's columns of these different things that you can purchase from. Well, if he beats me to the column I want to go to, I'm going to have to pay extra to do that.
Right.
Significantly extra. Like, it's difficult, especially when you're trying to get that engine at the very beginning started with your resources and everything, right? It's like painful. But the perks that you can get from these different columns and stuff to help work on your engine is fantastic. On top of that, on your little player board itself, you kind of build your own little engine that you can fire off, and there's two little, one's a factory, I think, and
one gives you resources, and one gives you converts things to other things.
Yeah, it's
I forgot what the cards are called.
Little machines. But you can, once you fire those off, all of them of a certain level, depending on how high your dice is when you activate it, will chain all of those. So you could build up a really fantastic engine that just cranks out a whole bunch of resources and helps you achieve that. It is a little bit tough because the piety in this game is incredibly rare, and it's difficult to get the stuff that helps you go up on the piety level, so it is a constant battle to be pious enough.
Yeah, if you don't get enough points, then you get like a penalty for the rest of the game. And sometimes the penalties don't affect you, but for the most part, they're really, really bad to get those penalties.
Yeah. So sometimes every once in a while you'll see one, because I think they're random, aren't they, the penalties?
All the cards come out.
Yeah.
So it just depends
eventually, it's the timing. So if your timing works out correctly, sometimes you're like, I'm not as worried about that. But usually, no. You don't want to do that. Because everything resets again, and you have to start from scratch after every round with the piety. Oh my goodness. So you want some in your engine building to help protect you, but that stuff's really rare to find and expensive to buy. So usually you're trying to find it off of cards that give you some as an instant benefit. 2-player, this is really awesome. I think it plays fine with more as well. Makes for a tighter game, of course. But this is one of those that we just go to as a 2-player game. It's really good. It's still fight worthy. We still fight over spaces. We just have a little more independence on what direction we want to take our stuff, and not as reactionary as you would be with multiplayer. I think it's heavy. Yeah, it says 60 to 120 minutes. And that's probably about right. I'd say a little over an hour.
It's about an hour-ish.
Yeah, a little over an hour, I think, for us to play that. Where'd this one end up on your list? Because I know you like Lorenzo.
40.
Yeah, see? Okay.
It dropped a little bit for me, too. Just because we got so many 60 to 90-minute Euros now, it's just it's getting... There's so many of them now. We own 50 or 60, 90-minute Euros.
Yeah, that's our favorite shtick, right? And I think that might be why this one got punished a little bit this year, we've played it quite a bit, and...
It's getting old. It's old and dusty.
No!
Like that grandma's carpet or whatever you said.
Tell me that does not look like that, okay? I will never get over this. This is not a game that I'm going to go into the game store and be like, oh, this is a good game.
But look at this guy. This guy means business.
Yeah, he's not really smiling.
He looks magnificent.
I see what you did there. Terrible. Anyway, that's my 78. Lorenzo il Magnifico. All right. My number 77 is new. It's my other new to the list one, which is funny because
You think you missed it last time?
I think so, and part of it, well, before then I'd only played it once.
Yeah, maybe.
And I had, and I
we
usually
played it
don't.
again during the
We played it
resolution?
again and stuff. We played it during that, and we played it again recently as well, within the last year. And I every time we play it, I'm like, man, this is just a fun game, and that is Vikings Gone Wild. It's so funny because we had Lorenzo, who is like super serious dude, and then we have this. So complete opposite end of the spectrum. This is not a super heavy game. This is medium. You're building up, and it's another little deck builder, engine builder kind of game. This one, I think what I like about it is besides the lighthearted theme, and the art's fun, of course, but this is one of those games where it's attacky without being attacky. We attack each other in this game and get benefits and things from it. But when you attack somebody, it doesn't actually destroy their buildings.
I think it just taps them, if I remember right.
Some of them, yeah,
I think you don't get to use it or something. I don't
yeah,
know.
well, it depends on the building, I think, too, and stuff. But it's not... It doesn't set the other person back at all. And you can just kind of keep chugging away and doing your thing. And I loved that because then I felt like you kind of get the best of both worlds. If I feel aggressive, I can attack you every single turn, but it really didn't do anything to you. You were still able to do your complete turn. Didn't have any major setbacks.
I would comment, but A, it's not on my list, and B, this game is so forgettable for me. I don't remember anything about this game.
Really?
There's
oh my gosh.
Vikings.
Well, the theme is not super thick with this one. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it could be almost any theme. You really could.
You build things.
Yeah.
I don't remember nothing about this
You have
game.
buildings and you have cool weapons and stuff, and you just get. Oh my gosh. And the things you build and the stuff you churn out give you victory points, and I mean, it's a very similar to a lot of games.
This game went.
Oh man, that's so sad to me. Yeah, because I really do.
I remember
enjoy
enjoying it, but I just don't remember anything about this game.
Well, and it is lighter than you usually like. Like, it's lighter than that. So, I love it because it's cards. Again, I love it because you attack but don't attack. I mean, I don't think you even tap your stuff when you attack. You do it. Well, yeah, I think you can. I'm trying to remember now because there's also ways to block or something, but it's really, I don't know. It doesn't set you back enough that it bothered me. And now he's looking at the rules. Lovely. Well, while you're doing that, let me see here. Let me see if I can show you some of the little art. So you can just see the art's cute, cartoony little. What are you doing? And you build up your little. Yeah, here you go. I mean, the art's like, it's not amazing or anything. It's just cute. So you can see little dude. And see, he gives you one attack. And then you got, like, of course, they're Vikings. They like their beer. And there you go. That's a money source.
Oh, you're totally right. Look at you.
I know. Sometimes I know things. It's crazy.
I don't remember anything about this game, but it does say that you can keep using it. I thought you tapped
ton of different buildings that do different things for you and give you different resources.
Look at that. You do like this game. You know what's going on.
I do. Well, that's one of the reasons I seriously liked it, because you can attack with impunity. But then you're like, okay, you attacked me.
Excellence.
Oh yeah, it's got a seal.
Look at that.
Yeah, we pointed to the wrong area, but that was funny. I like how it's so forgettable for Hunter.
I really don't remember anything about this
Maybe
game.
he doesn't because it's too nice.
Maybe.
I attacked him the whole game the last time we played, and he doesn't even remember it because it was kind of like I'm over here going, and he didn't even feel any of it. So. But no, it really does. It's fun that way. I think this would be a great family game for that reason too, especially if you've got kids that, like to attack a sibling and sibling doesn't like being attacked. I could see this being a really good one for that sort of situation. And it's just a good one to throw down really quickly.
I need to play it again, I guess.
Yeah, you do. Apparently you do. It says 45 to 90 minutes. I want to say it's probably closer for 2 players anyway. It's closer to the 45 for sure. The only reason it might take an hour is if we're goofing around while we're playing. It's pretty simple once you get started. It's very intuitive because it's like most deck builder games. You just do your thing, do this, pay, do this, buy something, attack or whatever, next, and you move on. So it's really easy to get through the turns. And you can kind of start strategizing with the cards that you're seeing as the other person's playing. I love that you...
So mark down this date. Apparently, I've reached maximum capacity in my brain, and it's starting to eject things out of my head.
I know. This is not like you.
I don't remember anything about this game.
Which is so funny, because usually you're the one reminding me about how we do the games and stuff. Oh, man. I'll take care of you, Vikings. It's okay. It's okay.
I'm glad you like it. You remember things
I do
about
like it. I'm going to have to teach him about it again, apparently. I guess I'm teaching that game.
I guess so.
Crazy time. All right, my number 76 has gone up a little bit. It was 79. I think this is pretty much where it's been settling for quite a while. It is a solid game. I love it. It's one of those big games in a little package, and that is Artifacts Inc. Where's this on your list? Because
I don't know. I'm looking for it.
This is a little box that has a larger table presence than you would expect because it lays out a whole tableau of different things. You are collecting artifacts and you are selling them to different museums, and in those museums you have kind of an area. What am I looking? Oh,
and the museum's area control.
Yeah, it is area control.
Well,
okay,
majority.
I
guess.
Yeah, majority control would probably be better than area control for victory points because they're worth a lot of victory points at the end. You also build up your engine so that you can get more of these fossils and things to sell to said museums. And as you're buying different cards that help you with that, they also give you bonus victory points by what they're next to as you lay them out in your tableau. On top of that, you also have some set of cards in the very middle of the table that will be, you can go diving for artifacts that have been buried in the sea. And those are more based off of your dice rolls and the cards that you have to help with your dice rolls and stuff. It is such a fun little engine builder, and it's a 2 to 4 player game. It plays awesome as 2 player. It plays awesome as 4 player. I love this at all the player counts, and it doesn't seem to change that. The only thing I could say is the dice for this are so strangely boring because they're just these little brown dice. They're not that big. They're just, I don't know what it is. They're just strange. And it's not a looker. I mean, these are your cubes that you play with, okay? But the art is beautiful. This is Ryan Lockett art. So the cards themselves, very pretty.
I don't remember anything about this game.
You better not say that, I swear. Do you know how much we've played this game? We have played this game so much.
That's funny. Yeah, that's a good one. It's really it's plummeted for me because
we played it a lot.
We've played it so much, and I would not pass up if someone wanted to play, I'd happily join, but this is not one I would suggest anymore.
Oh man,
it's dropped down to 223. What? 223.
What?
That's still in the top. Maybe. I don't know.
It's funny because we got this game before I knew much about like Ryan Lockett's art and stuff like that, and even then I was like, "This is really cool."
It's a good little Euro game. It's just that I don't know.
Oh my goodness! Give me that! You obviously hate it.
I got a comment to make.
Oh, okay.
Is it just me, or does it look like the little statues going? Bleh?
That's kind of the point, isn't it?
Bleh.
Isn't it supposed to do that? He's like, Hunter's review is bleh. Okay.
No, it's a great game. It's just it's played out for me. I want a meatier game. This almost seems like a board game a card game that they're trying to make a board game out of cards. It just seems like there's just cards everywhere.
So,
I don't know.
Your point? You're digging for things. Of course, they're all over the place. You're digging them up out of the ground.
I want some meeples. I want some nice dice. I want some things going on.
I need to change the cubes out for some little dudes. Would that make it better for you?
Maybe.
This says 60 minutes, and I think that's right for 2-player, but when we play, unless you got people that really crank out their turns, I swer this takes longer than an hour with more people.
There's
a lot to it.
And there's just little things that I guess haven't aged well. I mean, it's not that old of a game. How old of a game is it?
What hasn't aged
14?
well?
It's the fact that you roll. A person does all their actions, all their turn, and they do everything they're going to do. They buy all these cards. They roll their dice. They do all it, and then the next person does it, and then the next person does it. Why not spend a die? Next person goes. Spend a die. Next person goes. Spend a die. Next person goes.
I suppose you could do that.
I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy.
It's possible too.
Or maybe I forgot it. Maybe that's not even how it plays. I don't know.
No, it is. You're right. I will be your fact checker for this evening, apparently.
I don't know. Senility's creeping in.
Oh man, that's terrifying. These are too many games for me to remember. I'm just saying.
Brain's in a blender.
Uh-oh. That blender's gone. All right. My number...
Can we get a good game?
Oh. Excuse me. We're going to have some technical difficulties for a second.
Oh, you did Lorenzo. Right, that's a good game. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
My number 7.
See, next year, she's gonna go first, and then she can lay into me.
It is on, okay? It is on. I've
already decided.
I'm already
she's going
notes.
first next year.
I'm taking notes.
And she can be mean to me when comparing.
I usually am
lists.
so nice and supportive to your top 100 list too.
Are you?
Yes.
I need to replay that.
Except for where you rank it, I might give you some guff.
Oh my!
The games.
We need to check the tape because I recall her making faces all through my videos.
Oh my gosh, I don't do that.
What's your number? Whatever we're on.
I've tried to say it several times. You're like, hey, yeah. Okay. My number 75.
Oh, 75. Okay.
Gone up a little bit. It was 80 before. Okay, so
it must be something amazing.
It is. Not according to you, apparently, but
we'll
see if he remembers. We'll see if he recalls Paper Tales.
Oh, I know Paper Tales.
Yeah, you don't have it on your list.
I don't think so. I'm looking. No. I'm double checking. I don't think I do.
This is a medium game, and honestly, it would almost be medium light, except for there's so much text on these cards and so many different combos. I think it'd be a bit overwhelming. Possibly. Depends on what kind of games people have played previously, so it's something to keep in mind. But I love this game. I particularly love it with the expansion, just because the expansion gives you more cards. This is a game that if you play a lot, you're going to see the combos and streamline it, and you ever get any new players, you'll just destroy them because you already know the best path. So definitely, if you're into Paper Tales, I do highly recommend the expansion for this one, because it gives you more variety, and it's a lot harder for you to just go through and combo everything. So what you're doing is a deck builder game, kind of, and you're going out and recruiting people and creatures and things that have different abilities. And you also have... You're spending this money, but you also have another secondary currency of time. Most of the time, your creatures only last through one round. But there's some that kind of play with time and can give you bonus victory points because they've got time markers on them and they live longer. And there's all these different... Again, like I said, it's very combo heavy. You build buildings to help you with your resource development so that you can buy these different cards. And then you have 2 rows that you draft out each turn. You've got your front row, which is going to be your warriors that you send out to attack. And then you've got your back, which is going to be your resource base typically. Some warriors also can be in the back row. And you all attack each other. So whoever has the most attack, they're going to get more victory points as you go around the table, like who's to your right and left, who's winning, who's losing. You get victory points each round for having the best attack. There's 4 rounds, I believe, to the game. It's not super long, but again, the difficulty lies in finding those really good combos that are going to help you play off of each other. Finding, like, there's a hunter in there that makes, he finds and gets you stakes, for example, and you use the stake to go buy other creatures and stuff. I know, it was like, this is why I thought you'd like this game. It was a hunter that gets stake. I was like, this is perfect for you. And then with the expansion, they give you more buildings that you can choose from, because in the base game, pretty much everyone gets the same buildings and can get all the buildings or whatever. With the expansion, it's impossible, I think. Well, probably not impossible, but probably not the wisest move to go and buy all of the buildings. It's a lot of resources, and they don't do that much for you as far as victory points, obviously. So you want to streamline your little engine. Which buildings do I want to get that produce what's going to work best for the creatures that I have in my deck? Super cool game. I actually like teaching this game. You know me, I'm not really a huge fan of teaching a bunch of games to people. But I've taught this one to several people. Had a really good time with it. I like it at all the player counts. It's 2 to 5 players. And yeah, 30 minutes is about right. I would say 30 to 45 if you have a lot of new players. So, do you remember this game?
I do.
Okay, good.
It's not on my list.
I know it's not on your list. This is too light and fluffy.
It's alright.
This is that deck builder thing that I like.
I don't know, this reminds me a little bit about kind of like Everdell.
Okay.
In that when you're trying for cards, you're like, oh, I got this card. I need this other card to make a great combo.
Yeah.
And you never have a chance to get that card.
This one is not as bad as Everdell in that, though.
Could be.
Well, then you're not playing. Anyway, so...
Oh, my goodness. There's a score sheet in here. Let's see who's won this game.
Play better.
There's no score sheets. Darn it.
Oh, there's not? Are you sure?
No, there's no score sheet.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Not underneath here,
No.
just in case?
No.
There's the board.
No.
Aww. Out of luck.
Anyway, Paper Tales.
I'm pretty sure I can... Not DuckTales. Not Captain Tales. It's Paper Tales.
It's all right. It's like she says. It's a light little card
right.
game. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right.
Well, I know you're gonna like the next couple.
Am I?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I can't wait.
You
No,
really
this
wanna
is
play
the
Paper
perfect
Tales
list
with
for
me?
you, sweetie.
Oh, listen to that. You're so supportive.
For you, it is a great list. We still have the games,
If Hunter
so they gotta be fun.
disappears after this video.
All right, what's it? One of these games I love that you're about to talk about.
Well, this is kind of funny. One of them got punished, and one of them... So I'm bringing it back, and then one of them dropped a tiny bit, because for some reason last year I had them all, all over the map. And this year they're right next to each other. Mm-hmm. So my number 74 was, for some reason, 120 last year. And that is... Clank in Space! Clank in Space. This is like Deck Builder Central, this top 10. So Clank in Space is a deck builder where you are working your way through this spaceship, and you're trying to go in and collect all the goodies and stuff. And of course the best ones are all the way down, usually towards the bottom of the ship, and you need to get back out before the world explodes. And there's transporters, and there's different force field things that end up blocking your path, and stuff just gets in your way. And sometimes you can't get through something until you go somewhere else first and get I can't remember if it's like a computer code or something you had to pick up.
You have to pick two of the three little nodes.
Nodes, that's what they were. You pick up some nodes and stuff. Meanwhile, in your deck, you still have this concept of clank, and what that is that you're making noise. You're supposed to be doing this very quietly. However, some of the cool stuff that helps you get through here causes you to make a bunch of racket. You don't want to make noise as you're trying to get through here. So this stuff, either you have things that are really amazing, but they're really noisy, or you just have stuff that clogs your deck that makes that noise. So you have to get through it. Again, it's a typical deck builder. You're kind of deciding when you buy your cards which direction you want to go with that. Do you have ways to mitigate it? And of course, when you anger, who's the bad guy in this? I always say Dragon.
Overlord, I think.
Yeah, some space overlord guy.
Overlord Fred?
Overlord Fred. That's what we'll call him, Fred. So when Fred gets angry, then you have to draw out of a bag and you get certain color cubes. You're in trouble. It's fun. Space theme's really cute. There's a lot more to this than my next one, which I will go ahead and bring out now. It was 78 last year, and now I brought it up to 73. Hold on. And that is Clank. They're right next to each other. I think that's the coolest thing ever.
You prefer a non-space version of a game over the space version
yes.
of a game? What?
By this
what?
much. I don't know why.
What? Hold on.
I know, right? Nope, I'm good.
Okay.
I don't know why, but and it's been this way for a couple of years, actually. Because, again, this was number 78 last year. This one was still higher by a lot compared to Clank in Space. I like the simplified version of the fantasy version better. I don't know what it is. Usually, the generic fantasy, I'm going to pick sci-fi over that any day of the week. But I just like the simplicity of the map with this one.
But isn't fantasy a subgenre of sci-fi?
We're not going to get into that discussion here.
Or sci-fi a subgenre of fantasy?
Oh my gosh. Don't start that. Oh my gosh. I can just see the chat now.
Isn't that the point?
Please educate him. It'll be wonderful. I can't wait to see what y'all think about that comment. All right, so this is they're peas in a pod.
One at a time.
And very similar. No, I'm talking about them.
The editor's having a conniption right now.
This is my video.
The editor's having a conniption.
Editor better get a grip.
Editor better get a grip, man. And then
oh
Clank,
my
and then
gosh.
Clank in space.
Oh man, what's he gonna do?
Clank, and then both of them at the same time.
He'll have to work. Okay, so Clank. This is also a deck builder. This is the original right here. And this time you're trying to sneak in and not wake a dragon, which is harder when you're wearing a whole thing of chainmail armor. Am I right? So, of course, you know, you got this really cool thing. Helps you get there really quickly, but it's the equivalent of you banging pots and pans as you're walking down the hall, and of course it wakens the dragon and makes him angry. Or you can get some stuff and get some nice little leather like moccasins and you can sneak in really quietly, but you don't move quite as fast. Again, it's another one of those where you get choices on what kind of cards you want to pick out of there. And of course, all of the really good goodies and jewels and things that are worth the most victory points are down in the bottom of this underground layer of your dragon. So, do you risk going all the way down, possibly getting eaten by the dragon, not making it out at all? Or do you get the something in the middle, risk a little bit, or you guarantee you can get some cheapo little trinket you saw near the entrance and run back out really quickly? Oh man, the choices. Such good choices. So much fun.
So again, why do you prefer this?
I like the simpler map. I don't know why. I feel like some of the map in this is clunky. Because some parts of it are you can transport, and some parts you have like a little. It's
what
like
about the lovely little
equivalent
puns?
of an escalator of what?
What about the lovely little puns and jokes?
Oh, the puns are fantastic.
Yeah,
the puns are fantastic in this. Don't get me wrong, but there's some funny stuff in this too. Just saying. It's just saying.
So
I get this much more.
So Clank,
yes.
The original,
yes,
a deck building adventure,
yes,
is my 158.
What's the space one?
And then Clank in space, a deck building adventure, is 130.
What in the world is going on? It's too light and fluffy for you. These are medium weight games, by the
They
way.
are. They're pretty good games.
No, we like them a lot. This is 45 to 90 minutes. I think the two of us, though, we crack through this fast anymore.
Yeah, pretty much. Depends on how much staring at cards we do.
That's true,
Shopping, too.
Shopping sometimes.
No, they're both really amazing games. If you're looking for a deck builder plus game, then you can't go wrong with either one.
Yeah.
If you like fantasy, do this one. If you like the space, do this one. If you want a little bit lighter game, do this one. You want a little bit heavier game, do that one. If you don't want to do either one of them, then don't do either one of them.
Wow, be that way.
If you want to play them, do them both like we, then you get them both.
There you go. Because they are similar enough, you don't necessarily have to get both. We're just crazy.
I find it interesting they're right next to each other, though.
I thought that was really cool that it worked out that way. All right.
Dust from the dungeon.
All right, so my number 72 was my 57. It's dropped a little bit, probably because it got punished because we haven't been able to play it. It makes me sad.
I assume it doesn't play 2-player.
You could, but it'd be really lame. Then again, it might be really fun.
That really stopped us before.
That's really true. But I think you'd understand
dear.
when you see it's on deck. 2-player, this would be really one-sided. Because you're supposed to be teams competing, okay? This game is incredibly difficult to find. But I've never laughed so hard until it hurt. Playing very many games, and this one is definitely one of them. And on top of that, we were laughing so hard. I'm surprised we didn't get kicked out of our game store for playing this. It was just ridiculous. You are cavemen in this, and you're in teams, and it's for 2 to 8 players, right? But what you're doing is you have the head caveman, and the head caveman is going and instructing you on how to build something. Unfortunately, this caveman does not have the ability to speak much. So you're using a matter of gestures and things, okay? It has a little cheat sheet card for you. And saying certain words like, ugh, ugh, ugh. And that's about it. That's all you can do. You can stomp your feet, raise your hands, ugh, ugh. So when you tell someone if it's right or left, you go, ugh, ugh. And then, if they get it wrong, you smack them on the head. And if they get it right, you smack them on the head. So regardless of what's going on, you smack the person on the head. Meanwhile, what you're telling them to build, this is the best part. There's 3 different levels of difficulty for this game.
Smacking people on the head's the best part.
It really is. It really is. They have inflatable spiky clubs, as you can see. They're fantastic. So you have all these nice chunky wooden bits of various colors. And you also have a platform that is a dark side and a light side that comes in to play later because you have these different difficulties of cards. And the UgTech manager, your Caveman architect, has different pictures that he is trying to instruct you to do things. So, for example, this card right here, you're going to have to tell them to put white cylinder standing up. But the instructions... Oh, you're already deflating it. It makes me sad. The instructions, as you can see here, I'll show you, are very, very minute. So, see that? It says you say it one time. You say it 2 times. Ugungu. It means put away. If you want to tell them it's the yellow piece that you want to put away, you go like this and go, Ugungu, Ugungu.
What was that again?
Ugungu, Ugungu. And you have to say it in your caveman voice, too. That's a requirement. The thing is, the gray piece, they don't have a light gray piece. So you're going to have to tell them to, like, flip over the gray piece, and you have to shrug your shoulders for it. I mean, it's so ridiculous. It is beyond ridiculous. It is laugh out loud insane. Yeah, this probably isn't for everybody. But if you really want to, smack your spouse around, this is a great time for you to be on a team with them. I'm just saying. I mean, it's a good game.
Smack your spouse around. Ugungu.
It's socially acceptable smacking. I'm just saying.
Get this nonsense out of here.
This is awesome. I don't care what you say. This is one of the best games ever.
It is laugh out loud funny, but man, it is.
I mean, some of those... Now, the picture I showed you was one of the more complicated ones.
Spoilers?
I just showed them one. But, oh, sorry. But yeah, it's like... Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Yeah.
It's not in my top.
Of course it's not, because you're not much of a party gamer. But
I enjoy the game. It's just, man, how much of a game is it, really?
It's an excuse for you to smack me with an inflatable club.
I can do that without a board game.
But it's not really as fun. Admit it.
Anyway, it is fun, yes.
It's awesome.
Not number 72 fun, but it's fun.
Oh, excuse me, sir. Whose video are you on?
You just make a... Look at this.
Huh? What?
She made a stabby thing.
A go-go! Anyway, that's not the first time I did that. By the way, so... My number 71 has jumped up again, and I think it's because we played it again a while ago. It's been a little while now, and we're due for it again. I love this game. Every time I play it, I'm like, this is a classic. It's moved up from 97 to a 71.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Up?
Yeah, it went up. Isn't that interesting? Mm. And this is actually the Lords of Waterdeep. We have it in our expansion box, which is called the Scoundrels of Skullport.
Lords of Waterdeep.
Yeah, but it's a little small. Lords of Waterdeep is one of the original worker placement games that we came across and started playing with. And it is one of the older ones. It's generic, like, D&D style characters and stuff in it. So, but if you know that realm, the flavor text is wonderful. The theme is not really super important with it because it's worker placement. You go get certain colored cubes that's a mage or a knight, and you use them to pay for certain events and activities and things and complete these adventures. Theme, but it's just really fun to do. It's got intrigue cards where you kind of mess with your other players, and you're going in and all of them have different, like, alignments and stuff. Skullduggery. I mean, who doesn't like to say the word skullduggery? That's just a lot of fun. There's different types of victory cards, and you have a victory condition that's secret from other people. That you have 2 different types of cards that you get extra victory points if you complete those particular missions. So after a while, people kind of start figuring this out because you constantly are buying those cards or trying to, right? The expansion, Scoundrels of Skullport, is all about some skulls and the corruption. It brings corruption into the game, so you have these negative victory points that you're going to have to get rid of somehow. But they give you way more resources and help you do way more stuff, and it's really fun. We've gotten to where we automatically just play with all of this now because we love it so much. It's just a really good perk. Right. The game is a blast. And again, it's not one of those where you're going to sit there and go, oh, this theme is amazing. No, it's just the fun play. It's a really fun play. And you can buy your own buildings that you put along the side of the board. Other people can go to, and you get a perk every time they do. It's awesome. There's all sorts of just little things like that that are just a lot of fun to play with this one. It's classic. When did this game come out even? Is it
200 years ago.
I don't think so. It's upside down. I'm trying
2005?
It's old.
7?
Old in board game
10?
terms.
13.
13?
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
I don't know.
Oh my gosh. That means... Wow. 8 years old now? Okay.
Not quite 8. It hadn't had his birthday yet.
No. You sure?
I don't know. This is a good one. It's plummeted on my list just because there's 1,001 million worker placement games now. It's really solid. I enjoy it. I tend to like worker placement games where you start out with a limited number of places to go, and then through gameplay you build out more places. And there's a lot of games that use that mechanism now. This is one of the first ones to do it.
And it was fun. I mean, we love doing that.
The base game is a good intro worker placement game, I would say. Especially, it could be even a gateway game for people that like D&D, because they'll recognize names and people and places and things that are from the
Skullport.
Forgotten Realms Waterdeep area, and Forgotten Realms. So they could have read books, they could have played modules or anything like that. So it's solid for a large number of reasons. It's just in a sea of
it's inundated with worker placements now.
I would say the sea that's next to Waterdeep, but I forgot what the name of it is. That would have been great if I could have said it.
That would have been
perfect.
I don't remember
I'm not
either.
quite that good.
I would have got. I think, is it still in print?
I'm sure it is. I don't know.
It might be worth checking out. I'm
sure it is.
Again, if you just want a generic, I say generic. Nowadays, it feels like a generic worker placement somewhat, but again, it is kind of nice to go back to those, and I really enjoy playing this over and over. I'm not getting tired of it.
It's all right.
So, Lords of Waterdeep, my number 71. So, I am impressed. It seems like you did stay in your seat this time, except for the, blowing up the prop for me. I did appreciate that. That was a lovely touch. But I don't think I shocked you as much this time. You seem a little better now?
Yeah, but the thing is, here's where my concern's coming. Because you're working your way up your list.
Okay.
I mean, you're just cracking it out.
Okay.
We're, 30 games in now? Something like that?
Yeah. Next week's are 70 to 61.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Okay.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 games. So that's 16 games in my top 100 that are not in your top 100. So about half of your games you've gone through so far are going to be bumping my top 100.
What I think is going to be fun is that when we do our combination list, is seeing how these...
The Doug Tech's going to be on it?
The Doug Tech's going to be on it.
No, it won't be on it.
Probably not. But it'll be fun to see how these all sort themselves out.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah.
It'll be fun. So stay tuned for the next episode of Chaos. Will Hunter stay in his seat? Nobody knows. See you next time.